Hello everyone, and this is my review for WWE Monday Night Raw on May 27, 2013. And considering how usually the Memorial Day Raws go, they're usually not very good shows. Though this one was actually, it was somewhat of a decent show in general. You had some really good matches in there with Alberto Del Rio, Big E, Langston. Also with Kofi Kingston and Dean Ambrose, and then Team Hell No and The Shield as well. Also the match with Randy Orton and Sheamus versus Team Rhodes Scholars, Cody Rhodes, Damian Sandow, was also a really good match. Though I wish they would have some kind of bigger storyline going around there, because all these guys seem to be in limbo. They might be having they might be teaming up Randy Orton and Sheamus to go up against to be the Shield's next opponents for the tag titles. We'll see where they actually go with that. Also, it seems as if they're trying to build some friction between Big E, Langston, and AJ, maybe Dolph Ziggler whenever he comes back as well. So we'll see where they actually go with all those here into the near future. It was good to see that they also used the show to build storylines and build matches for the upcoming pay-per-view, which is also something they typically don't do. They essentially made Chris Jericho and CM Punk during the entire Chris Jericho highlight reel segment. We'll see where they're going. The rumor mill is that it's going to be almost like a face turn for CM Punk. He'll return as like one of the Paul Heyman guys eventually. Either he'll turn on Paul Heyman or Paul Heyman will turn on him at some point. Once again, we'll just see where they go with that. I also liked the aspect of them making the match with Ryback and John Cena at the pay-per-view, a 3 Stages of Hell match. Though the only awkward match out of all that really seemed to be the first fall being a lumberjack match. It really doesn't seem to fit the mold for any of those type of matches. The tables match afterwards will be fine, and of course the ending with the ambulance match, that's somewhat of like a finishing type match anyway. So the only awkwardness is that lumberjack match, so we'll see how that match actually turns out at the pay-per-view. I've liked where they've been going with Ryback recently, so it's been at least somewhat decent in the past few weeks. The only real area that I don't think they're doing all that great on, and also since they debuted him last week, has been the whole Curtis Axel area. And the only thing that seems really, not so good about it, though this week's match with him and John Cena was a lot better than the match with Triple H the week before. They don't seem to be putting him over really in any sense of the way, with the exception that he has Paul Heyman on his side at this point. He does seem to get, though like I said, this week's match was a lot better. He does seem to get dominated during his matches, and then he just wins by pure fluke. I don't think this is a good way for him to be being built. I know they had him go over like Sin Cara on SmackDown, but in a sense, if they're going to try to build him really fast, you would really hope for them to allow him to have a definitive win against one of these guys, instead of just kind of using the fluke way of putting him over and getting wins that way. So that was really outside of the Great Khali and that 6-man tag stuff. That was really the only down point I saw to Raw. It'll be interesting to see where they go with the Miz, Wade Barrett, and Fandango. It looks like they're going to make some kind of triple threat match here in the near future for the Intercontinental title, so we'll see where they go with that. Overall, I felt Raw was a decent Raw, a lot better than what they typically put on for the Memorial Day show. Usually they kind of use that show as a throwaway show. The backstage segments with Bret Hart during the entire show, the one with Daniel Bryan and Kane, was absolutely, it was really funny in my mind. Also, his run-in with Curtis Axel in the back, talking about his dad's past and everything, and then Curtis Axel getting in his face. I thought that went over really well as well. So yeah, I felt it was a decent show, and that's my review this week for Monday Night Raw. I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.